Hey everybody, this is Jeff from Jeff's Vegetable Garden in Containers from down here in Florida, and I was doing a lot of fruit trees. If you go on the Jeff's Vegetable Garden in Containers at YouTube, and I copy it, or it automatically copies through what do you call them? Not link advisors, but link chains, whatever. It goes to Facebook, Instagram, all kind of different stuff. I got accounts all over. I can't think of what the one in the red and white is right now, but like 7 or 8 we're all involved with, and involved with some different websites and what do you call them, chats all over. And I just got our own chat room, and thanks for you all signing up for that chat room. If you got any questions, let me know. I've already put a couple of things out on it. It's new to me, but most of mine is just posting photos and things and how we've done this or done that, because it's inevitable when I get somewhere I do something. That's the first thing people say, well, how'd you do this, how'd you do that? And you explain it to them all, and then you're like, oh, for Christ's sake, I'll just put it out there and you can read about it if you want to see it or do it. It's just things you can do if you want them. So our main thing I'm going to get down here with you today is I'm going to kind of go over the whole garden, but where we're at now. Now, if you look out here in the yard now, look at that. You can see grass growing there and over there and a little bit there throughout the whole yard. And the whole yard, it's time for a plane to come over. The yard got all torn up by the tractor when I was burying all the pipe underneath the ground. And like I said, it goes to the 2 back gutters on the house and the shower over there. Eventually, I'm going to take the gray water from the mop sink. That's it. They all run down here. There's tubing on this side of the yard underneath, 6-inch tubing that's got foam and a wrap around it. Keeps sand out. And then up there, I've got a whole H system up there that runs to that gutter on the back of the house over there. Both of them are vented to back vent in case it floods real bad, or to keep anything from not going down the tubes the right way. Let's get back to the grass here. I would tell you, I'll be honest, all the years I've had yard work and done projects, you can go out and buy Scott's grass seed built into the dirt. I can't think what that shit's called. And you can buy seed, and you can buy, fast grow, this grow, all this. I don't know about all you. The only way I've ever had to go real quick is when I went out and bought sod in an area where I had to really do it. And I sodded a certain area to get it back. And then it would come back relatively quick. And then you'd have to tamp it, flatten it, but get it real wet. But that's the way I did it. Anywhere else where they tell you can throw seed down, water it, 2 weeks it'll have a little bit of grass, growing, and within a month you have a full yard of grass. They're full of what. It doesn't happen that way. Don't ever think it does. I do have some growth coming up over there, but you can see it's probably in every area a little bit, but it's not the way they present it to you. It never is. So if the weather stays the way it is and I keep watering it every day for a couple of hours, maybe by beginning of May, late May, beginning of May, somewhere in there, I might have a yard full of grass, but not like plush, thick grass that's always been here. And plus in Florida, I actually take care of the yard, and we've had the place for like 7 years. Haven't really spent time down here, except for a couple of weeks here and there. In Florida, no different up north with clay when planting trees were, but in Florida, it's sand, and it's sand, and it's sand until you get about 3 feet, and it's like black sand. And so you got to put your nutrients in and mix it, and then mix it with the natural sand and a little bit of dirt that's in it here and make it work. Just like I said, it's just like up north, we're trying to work with clay. But, it's not like where you rake up north and you throw a little dirt on top of it and it composts. And I wasn't going to do that here because it's sand, man. And I could put dirt on it and it ain't going to do nothing. Well, I might throw dirt, it might grow grass, but that sand has to adhere to the dirt has to adhere to the sand. And down here, you run a sprinkler, you get a good rain down here, everything just runs all over the place. So what I did was I got 2 $40 bags of rapid seed. I think it was Scott, somebody like that. And I got my seeder, and I seeded the whole backyard and part of the sides over there. So it's all been seeded like twice now over the last week and a half. I'm going to let see where it goes because done an awful lot of work, a lot of additions to the yard, and it's torn up now. And if it don't come back till 6 months or 8 months from now, and it doesn't bother me that much because there's so much work put into it, and I'm retired, semi-retired now, so it doesn't bother me like it would normally. Also down here is no different than up north. It might look green and it might look like grass, but up north, like my yard, but the front yard will look like masters and not a weed in it and for a certain part of the season, and the two sides will look good. And the backyard, you can weed and feed the backyard and do all that too, and mostly weeds. And by the time you kill the weeds and you start saying let's grow some grass back in there, it's end of the summer and you're right back in the same thing. So I think weed and feed now, I don't know, last time I bought weed and feed was like $75 a bag. And that crap years ago was $20. I mean, it's just outrageous. But it's not that. I'll pay for it because I got to get it done anyway. I don't want to do it. But the main thing with me is even when you weed and feed, you can do it the right time of the year. It's not 80 degrees yet, and you do it. It'll make it look good, but by the middle of summer when it's a drought and it's hot weather, no matter what the shit you do in your yard or your garden, you got to try different things to make it work. But once you lose it or once it gets to be a certain humidity and climate and temperature, you're not going to do nothing with it. But so if it's 95 to 100 degrees and it's humid outside, good luck because you're not going to have anything do anything for you. You can water 10 times a day. And I got watering systems up north that I was going to put them in here, but I haven't done it yet. But I got watering systems up there to feed everything off timers, and it does a lot better than if I didn't. But the main thing is you just have to remember that it's like somebody guaranteeing you this or somebody guaranteeing you that, and this soap will take up any stain in the world and guaranteed and all that in 90 days return. By the time you find out in 90 days it's already up, and you got 3 bottles up there shipping it to you every week. You find out that shit don't take up nothing. So I know fertilizer works, and I know grass seed works, and there's a way. I'm just saying, don't fall for hey, I'm just going to sprinkle this magic stuff out there, and I'm going to have a lawn in 2 or 3 weeks. It's just not the way it works, and I'm sure you already know that. Majority of you, I'm sure you do know that, but I just don't want anybody thinking that. Hey, a month from now, they're looking and going, man, your yard still looks like kind of bare and mostly sand. I'll be like, yeah, well, that's part of doing everything. So I got to get something here real quick. I'm going to keep talking while I'm doing this. The main thing I want to do is while we're doing all this, see the ground's closed in. I have a hand tamper, and that hand tamper, I tamp the whole yard, the ditches and everything, like, I'm going to say 30, but 15 times. Back and forth, and wait a couple of days, wet it, do it again. So it's pretty well locked back in everywhere. But I got to wait for it all to settle and get more grass growing in it, and then I can do more with the yard the way I want to. Sorry about that. I had to get something to drink hot now. All right, so coming back. I don't often like to be on camera too much. I got too much other stuff to do, and but I'm here trying it. So what I'm going to do from here is we're going to go around and explain some more stuff we just planted. I think in the last 2 weeks we've bought either gotten some certain plants from our neighbors, but bought soil, mulch, and plants. And I'd say we've bought 40 plants, probably 40 plants and trees and bushes, and we are just jammed with stuff. And I've been doing that for nothing but 2 days now, digging everything up, putting that in place. And I gotta get got the birdhouse back up on the pole that my daughter and Jeff gave us. After I stained it, but I put it back up because couldn't put it up because nothing was settled yet. But I got it back up now. There's a whole lot more I want to get done out here, but like I said, I got to wait for the grass to get up here on the rest of it. But as far as planting, I'm just hoping because I tell everybody, don't go buy all that stuff when you're out. I buy it every time. I can't walk into a lawn and garden or a nursery or anything without buying something. I'll be like, I'll fit it somewhere. But really, I got left in this. I got left fruit tree wise. I'm probably going to put in some type of mulberry, a tangerine. Yeah, mulberry, a tangerine. There's another type of orange I was looking at too, and I'm hoping that's about it, unless I find something. Everything else, because we've already got guava growing, and it's grown real good. I've got another orange over there, and a lime right there, and I got two papayas and three bananas, and we just put this banana in right here last night. I put that one in. That's the third banana. I got two pups off that one, but I don't know if they're actually pups or coming up from the stem. So I got to dig down there tomorrow, and if it's rooted, I'll pull them out and put them in separate pots. It'll give me even more, but I have to see. And remember, when you're doing bananas and stuff like that, as you cut all the, it'll get dead looking and stuff growing all off it and leaves falling off. You cut this stuff up, you leave it right back in there. What that does is break down, acts as a fertilizer for that banana tree, and just keeps it constantly fertilized. The main thing with a banana tree is fertilizing with its natural stuff, and the other thing is you got to water it all the time, because they call them banana trees, and they're not even a tree. They're a more or less like a vegetable. They're the whole stalk that grows up even to 15 foot or whatever it does. When it finally grows up and makes bananas, that whole stalk, if you cut it, it's just full of water, and that's all it is. Really, you could call it a water tree, but it's just that's all that's there. And then every year, once you produce it, you get the bigger stalks, and they do the bananas. You cut it off, chop it into pieces, you throw it right back down inside wherever you're growing stuff at, into your mulch, and then another one grows. It's the same cycle every year, and I'm going to see how it works for me. And over here we still got a purple lime over here. I think that's a purple lime, and that's a regular lime there. The regular lime wasn't doing so good. I put it in like 3 years ago, but I haven't been here much. But I really cut the lower stuff off it and did some other work to it, and it's really grown about 2 foot this year, so I'm looking real good. The purple lime I bought earlier this year, and the oranges over there, they're looking real good after I did some digging and fertilizing and mulching on those. Really took it way downtown. Another papaya here. Got another lemon bush I'll show you. We put it over there. It was in the, you ever go to the place and they got the sale stuff, fruits and vegetables and trees, and you go on the racks and they kind of look 50% dead, 50%, you don't know. I take a lot of those reclamation projects. I mean, I'll buy stuff new, but I'm just saying I take a lot of those, matter if they're vegetables or they're trees or they're fruit trees or whatever. I buy them and say, hey, I'm going to make this work again. And I'd say I got probably about a 95%. There's a couple of them I put in that you just can't do nothing with, but majority of them I get them back, and they start producing vegetables, producing fruit, or flowering, or doing whatever it's supposed to do, or being a tree. So overall, I've been pretty successful with it, with the soil mixture I use. One thing I found out about down here in Florida is they call their mulch, not their mulch, but their potting soil. Got this big thing. You got to buy these potting soils at all these nurseries down here in Florida. Man, it's the greatest. You get it down there, all it is hardwood mulch. And they'll tell you it's potting soil. And you got to use this soil down here. And then when I bought it home, somebody said you got to buy it. My wife filled up a couple buckets in a quart tub full of it. So she bought home like 5-gallon buckets of stuff. It's only 2 gallons a bucket, whatever. And I come home, I'm like, that's just hardwood mulch. What the hell's going on here? And so I started talking and researching, and I talked to one of the people in a place like, oh yeah, we don't like telling you about it, but you need to add your stuff to it, like manure and all that, and then it becomes a real good soil. You're like, fuck, I do that myself. Excuse my French. So I bought that little bit. I'm done with it. I'll just keep mixing stuff the way I've been mixing it north and here. Slight adjustments in it, but otherwise, see everything's staying pretty green. Everything's going the way it is. I don't know how we'll end up in these rough summers down here, but I think we'll end up okay. But right now, I just want to take you a little bit of a walk around to see and see how everything's going, growing, and going, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, let me grab this camera here real quick. Be right with you. Got to get a drink. All right, here we go. Let me get this thing picked up here. Okay. Get it down a little bit. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to walk here to the back left corner back here. So my wife wanted to put these, can't think of what they're called, but she had a couple she wanted to put in, so I put them in for her, and then I ended up getting all she had and ended up using some bricks I had left there from other stuff. And put that in there, and that's the fence. That's part of the fence that I took out, and that there. And then the rest of the fence, if you look down this whole rail, is gone. I cut out half of what's left down there, and cut it up sheet of 4x4s laying down there, so I can plant some other stuff. But the rest of it I threw away because I got so much of it saved. So I did that, and then this week I went out and bought 10 of these Cluais bushes. I call them lollipop trees, whatever. I put 10 of them in right here. So what was in this fence was, I really liked them. They're big, huge palms. And we had a couple small ones growing here, and they block some of the sun late afternoon. They give you a little more privacy. And in front of that, we had a wooden fence right in front of this metal fence. So it was a 6-footer, 8-footer, what now? Yeah, 6-footer. So with that 6-footer, this whole backyard was private to everybody else and the neighbors. They got a little bit of stuff in the yard there and mess, but he's renting it to somebody now, but that don't matter to me. But we still wanted to get back to that privacy thing, and we've noticed when we had the hurricanes down there, every time the fence would just get a little bit worse. And with the 100-mile-an-hour winds hitting, and when they happened to you and stuff like that, it just started loosening up and boards would be ripped off. Then I'd be fixing it for the first couple of years, and that would just get worse. And then last time when my daughter and my son-in-law were down here when they lost their house in Ian, and now they're up in PA, when they lost their house in Ian, my fence was blown apart and they got rid of it, a lot of it for me. And my roof got messed up. I'm not sure if that was the first one the roof got messed up on, but I got a new roof put on the house as soon as that happened. But I kept seeing a fence. So what these trees do is there's one right there in the middle. That was in the front yard in the bucket. I just had to get it out of the bucket to give it some roots to grow. Plus, every time I left it in there and we had a hurricane, I left stuff in buckets, ended up in the woods. And once again, my son-in-law went out there and got it for me before I lost it all. So with these here, these are really rapid growing bushes, I would say. They can grow to be 6 to 8 foot tall and about 6 foot wide. So I want to get them up to at least 4 foot, which will take a couple of years, get them up to 4 foot, and then I put them 4 foot apart. And so I want to get them just about where they're, touching, and then get them up to a certain height, and that'll give us that little bit of privacy. You can see I kept them 2.5, 3 foot off the fence everywhere. 1 or 2 are out a little farther than the other ones, and that's only because you can see right there, it's where the huge palm tree stumps are, and they're right under the fence. So me getting a stump grinder in there and getting that out of there and getting around the fence is just not going to happen. I'd have to take the whole fence down. Now, as far as the fence, I've bent all the posts back up straight. But some of them took a real bad hit in the storms, and with the palm trees tearing up what I could straighten up, I did. But you can see like some damage to like the bend in the fence there. And down here, you see there's 2 or 3 bends in a row down here in the fence. And it got hit real hard down here, as you can see, when the fence blew through and everything. And they did have it in concrete, but I cut the wood out of concrete. But you see the fence separating the corner. So I got to get rid of the rest of that. Once I do, then I told the wife I just got to get my acetylene torch out here. I can set it back up on a bracket, get some cable it down, bend it back with a heat torch. I'll get it straightened out on that end, same as there. I'll just get some heat on it and bend it back up, and it'll be like okay. And yeah, as far as the clips go in the front of the fence, if I can't find anybody right around here that has these in stock or sells them, I'll just strap the bar to here. But see that bend in it? It just kinked it. So what I'll do is I'll just, like I said, just get some heat in it, lift it, and I'll get them all straightened back up and a couple of the upper and down posts done. And when I got the post back up straight up and down vertically and did the whole fence all the way around, because like I said, I told you before, this outer rim of my yard here, I have woods on each side of me, and the lots are not owned by me, but the people that own the lots don't take care of them. And that crap comes over here and takes it like it is a animal and pulls my fence right into the woods. So I did pay to get that all cut back about 6 foot, 4 to 6 foot everywhere. And I don't have to worry about trimming it right now. And the guy's keeping up with it. So here's hoping to last for a while. You can see the pines up there. They're still hanging in there, but there's been some dead stuff off them. Crepe myrtle one there, mango tree there, and right behind that mango is another crepe myrtle there. Everything's coming in good right now. The mango here, you can't see as much as you did before, but they were flowering and starting to bud everywhere. You can kind of see it right there, all over the place, but they're starting to go away now, so they're going to start forming the mangoes, and you can see them how bright and red up there when they're starting to pollinate, start to get the mangoes for the season. So the bottom of the mango you can see is all clear now. I get rid of all the lower bushes on any fruits, any kind of tree. Just like vegetables when they're growing in the garden, anything that touches the ground or anything within a certain height, I get rid of because people just don't realize they cause more dirt, more infections or diseases in the plants than anything else. So you want to try to keep those cleaned up and cut up. Planted a couple of things we got here. She picked up those purple and that I call it like grass, but I know it's some type of palm. I can't think of the name of it. See the potatoes there? There's 3 buckets of them there. Still growing, even though they're looking kind of crappy. But they're in that last month and a half before I got to pull them out. But, everybody's telling me, hey, you going to grow potatoes down there? I'm like, yeah, yes, I am. Guava here, looking very good. See, it's starting to get a little couple berries on it stuff, so it's way ahead. And that thing, when I bought it, was more than 50%. I'd say it might have been 30% living. And I just said, well, I'm going to take a chance with it and got it going. Squash is starting to come in. See all that red stuff on here and down the ground and everything? Well, I went out and bought the stakes and the fence. Put it all around this setup over here to keep the boogers out of the garden like I do up north. Well, that was absolutely worthless because they come right in the next 2 nights and chewed them up some more. So tonight I put the cayenne pepper, sprinkled it all around the ground, all around both these things here. And then I just sprinkled some vinegar all around the whole thing too. So I don't smell it standing here right now. I don't know which way the wind was going, but when I was out front there a minute ago by the garage, a few minutes ago, I could smell the vinegar and the cayenne over there. So it works up north real good. I researched a little bit and said down here it works pretty good too. I wanted to show you a couple of these, but they're not showing right now with the weather. But I had a couple. I wonder if she picked them. There was a couple almost full size zucchini. So we'll see. We'll get through it a little bit more. I did have some cucumbers on here. Oh, here's one growing right here, Sam. It's not that big yet, but heck, I've already, just off these cucumbers right here, I must have 30 of them already this year, and they were, huge cucumbers. So if I didn't get enough of them now, I wouldn't really give a damn. Gonna eat some of them. See the nice peppers right there, running off that limb right there. So, boy, I went crazy with that pepper. Cayenne. So there's 2 of them growing there. I'm sure there's another 1 or 2 growing in there. So I gotta get them off in the next couple of days. Cherry tomatoes look good. The full-size tomatoes in there are looking pretty good. We've been trying to pick them a little bit before they're fully ripe here until I see how this experiment works with the cayenne pepper and the vinegar, because things are getting in there. We're just tearing them up. So I just did this today. We're going to see tonight and the next couple of days after I do this. And if it works as good as I think it will work, like it did up north, and that keeps them away, well, then they have to go tree for tree. You know what I mean? Take it in. So we'll see how they react to it. And if it kind of keeps them away, I know what I got to put down here to keep them away. Because I did it over there, but I used vinegar and something else over there. And when all my plants were around the air conditioner in the winter, trying over there, and I got rid of 90%, and I didn't have any hits over there at all. after the first hit. And then we did start getting hits after it wore off. I brought it in here, brought it inside the fence thinking I wouldn't get too much. And they were hitting them real bad in here. And as you can see, there's a lot of tomatoes still in that bush. So they were hitting it real hard, so I just said I'd do it some more, and that's what I did. Raspberries are looking real full. I'm pretty good with them. Strawberries are coming in pretty good. I'm trying to think of what I had. Oh, yeah, that's an eggplant. And that one there is another type of pepper, but they're big. They're a Mexican type of pepper, but they're real big peppers. They get round on it, real round and big on the top, pointy. I can't think what they're called. Struggling with this one a little bit only because I put it in the right conditions and where it had to go, and it's still doing okay. I water that thing just about every day because it's real heavy sand there where I put this shower in and everything. And you can see the tying of that side right there. It goes down underneath and picks both of these up and runs. You see the line there with the sewer line, not the sewer line, drain line goes down there, drops on the ground, feeds all that. No, but they're on both sides, so we're going to see how it works. Shower has worked out excellent. I only complaint I got is I took a shower out here last night like I do all the time, and it was effing cold. I think it was 48 degrees, and I wasn't thinking about it. And when I got in the shower, and whoo, daddy, it was cold. So the otherwise thing works great. You can see we've got some cactuses and aloes and new bushes and stuff. We're going to put some real tiny cactuses back in there and down in there. They weren't doing too good in the pots or in the sun, so where they're recommended, so I'm going to try them out and see what they do. And if they work, that's fine. If not a real loss to it. See the avocado right there? That thing's grown about a foot already. And I put that in about a month ago, and it's looking real nice. And it hasn't even really seen full sun yet. And the tulips next to it. She just changed the soil on those. The rose bush we bought from up north is looking real good, and actually getting one right behind it. All the stuff that's in here is all growing, all looking good, keeping up. The bigger stuff is new. We bought that down, and we put that green stuff, and what that is ground cover. That has purple blue flowers on it. And all this stuff we put in new over here that we bought and put in. That's what that ground cover looks like when it's fully flowering. I think my dog eats the flowers off some of it. Cactus. So everything's going pretty good, and we are watering it like every 2-3 days, everything. So let's see how it ends up doing for us in the long run. I think we'll be just fine. And that's the purple lime. So I don't know the difference between a purple lime and a regular lime, but we're going to find out. Can't think what them blue flowers are there. But what I put these in for around this old orange tree here. You can see it's right up in here. It's an old orange tree. Wasn't looking good or whatever, but I put this, and I put this buttercup bush and these two purple type of flowers in here. And there's a new lemon tree, and that's one of them ones off one of them racks. It looked like crap. And a normal lemon tree is $25 or more. Normally more than that if it's got any size to it. And this one was sitting there and was missing some leaves and wasn't looking great. And I think I got it for $7. So it's already looking better since I put it in. And in fact, all 4 of these little ones here were all off a not resale, half off, whatever the normal price is, sale kind of thing on them. And they're all doing pretty good right now. So I'm going to keep an eye on them, see if they keep up the way they have been going. That would be a good thing happening. This lime tree, this is one I was telling you about earlier. It's really, since I took everything off the bottom, it's really kicking butt. So just got to keep an eye on it. And like I said, everything's been fertilized here once earlier this year, and then again, and I was digging up the ground. But after that, I won't fertilize anything here till maybe early summer, and then back in the fall again, and that's it. And you see there's the back vent coming up from underneath the ground where the drains go out. This is coming back. This is like a thorn sticky bush. I don't even know what the hell it's called, but got purple flowers on it. But whoo, should kick your butt. But my wife likes it because it's coming back now. See, the hibiscus are flowering now. I cleaned them up and got most of the dead stuff out of them. Just did these bushes here today. And I got everything trimmed up on those. These here I did. The big thing we have here with all the red and purple flowers on it, I trimmed that all back. And you know where we talked about it, I went up there behind it and wired it to the wall. We'll see with a hurricane with 100 some mile an hour winds or something. I don't know if anything's going to hold it. I trimmed back this one too. It's starting to look a lot better. Another tree my wife found we put in the ground. And that's the black hose. I got one on each end of the house, and I took them out of here because they kind of got smashed up. And probably tractors riding over top of them and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to put them, sorry about that, losing you with the camera. They kind of got mashed up, and then it started taking away the dirt here. So the back ones I don't have to worry about, but the two front ones I have. I have the stuff running out of them now, and underneath the ground, the two back ones. And the front ones, I'm going to put those hoses back in with screen on one end, but I'm going to wrap it with weed fabric too, so it's underground, nothing can grow in it or get sanded or nothing. Then I'll just drop it down, get it deep enough and over that side so it'll run out into both woods like it was before, but with a little more protection to it. Cleaned a lot of stuff in here. Cleaned a lot of stuff up in here. So we're getting there. Moved a couple from the hot side of the house over here so they get the morning up to like lunch, and then they're done. Bird of Paradise looks a lot better now. Palms, everything's looking pretty good. That is the that one right there is the it's like a cactus, but it's a passion fruit. That's my project tomorrow. I got to dig it up, put a 4x4 in the ground next to it, and I already got a metal post. Put a 4x4 in, I'm going to get a bag of concrete and support in the ground and set the 4x4 in there, lock it under the dirt, and then if you do have a storm or something, it might tear the top of it up or something, but shouldn't tear the whole thing up because it's going to be buried in concrete. That palm is looking excellent right there. Really coming to its thing. This one's looking real good. Lemon tree, I got to trim a little bit underneath of it, but you can see it flowering. So typically with a lemon tree, wherever you see flowers, there's more there, more there. Wherever you see flowers on a lemon tree, typically that means you're going to have a lemon. And that's the way it's worked for me most of the time. So as you can see, half the tree looks completely full of lemons. The other side doesn't look great, but we're full of lemon or flowers, but we'll see how it goes. But you can see there's buds in there growing, so they're all ready to come out, so I'm pretty happy. Flowers are coming out good. Those right there normally got pink flowers on them. They come out in the day, and I guess they go in at night. Palms are looking good. That palm struggling a little more this year than it has. It normally is way ahead of even that one over there, but you never know. I've already, like I said, fertilized my palm soil. That's an agave right there. That's supposed to get massive. Put it in the ground. We'll see what it does, but full sun, but it's supposed to get to be like 4 foot high and 4 foot wide. We'll see what it does. That is another type of hibiscus bush that I put in the other day, so we're going to see how that works out. Like I said, all that stuff on the end of the thing down there, that's all new I put in. That's an existing hibiscus that I trim and keep up with, another evergreen. And this bush here, I can't think what this is called, but just keeping up with it. I planned that for my wife. That's some kind of line that comes up there, so I put the trellis there for her, but I told her I'd put it on, but I said I can't leave that trellis there, and midsummer through the fall, because it just get thrown out there in the ground. I put this bush in today, along with like 3 or 4 other ones. It's a white flowering bush, and I'm not actually sure of the name of this thing, Arctic snowbush, but another one is on a resale. So 50% we got from neighbors or dug up and moved, and The other 50%, I would say of that 50%, 25% is like brand new, high price stuff. The other stuff's off, like the sale racks. The crotons are looking good in that thing. I just got to keep water to them. Everything here's looking pretty nice on this side. You can see the desert rose coming back here with the red flowers on it. But you can see it's closed up now, but you look down in there, you can see where it's rotted out in there some. I got to trim it way back, but I think I'm going to wait till the fall to do it. But it looked terrible when we got down here, and now it's coming back. Those things are amazing. This palm was struggling, but it looks a lot better. Colossus looks good there. Now that's the palm I told you. I dug over in those woods right there before they started putting these houses up right on the side of the road. My son dug it up, bought it over, and I put that son of a gun in. You see how big it is. It's about 5 years now. We got these sides all cut back here along the house. Guy who did, he said, hey, that's an oak tree there. I'm going to leave that for you. I said, yeah. Now, I haven't trimmed it or done anything, but that's a type of pin oak, so I'm going to get that cut back a little bit and get it set up so it'll grow like a normal oak tree would, a pin oak. This yellow flower tree and this one have been here for a long time. It's starting to get a little scaly and stuff growing on, but it's still coming back. Haven't done much of fertilizer or given them anything here or manure or anything. So this part of the house I haven't done much with. This left side front and right in here. I moved a couple bushes where I had to. That old palm we had there that used to grow up, get caught in the gutters and everything, got cut down. It's finally dying back, and little by little we're getting rid of that. I had other stuff here, but I moved it out of here for now. So this is my next project outside, to get this side of the house where I want it and get it self-watering on this side too. That bush looks real nice. I call it baby's breath. I'm not sure what that crap's called, but there's one there, and there's one there, and that one was down there. It was completely dead in the bucket. And I put it in the ground, did some work with it, and it's kicking butt. And that's that. And this is from one of our neighbors. It was just like a stem with a couple of leaves. I put that in, and it's starting to do pretty good. Down here, it's amazing how stuff can be so small or look so bad, and think, man, how's that ever going to grow? Or it would never grow up north, but with the warmth and the way things are, and being sand, I guess, it gets rid of water. You can heavily water this stuff, and the water goes right through the sand, percolates down, so you're not sitting in the water, but it gets its vitamins. And that palm there I cleaned that palm up and got that all fixed up in that corner there. So still have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7, 8 palms, mainly on the side and front yards. I want to get a couple more. I took them all out of here because they were all tearing my fence up, as we talked about earlier. So, but I still like palms, so I'm going to probably get a couple of palms, but put them, once those Cluais bushes back there get completely cleaned up along the fence back there, grown up to a certain size, I'm going to put some palms in back here too, but I'm going to get my other fruits growing first. Because palms are like, how to explain it? Palms are like, once you put a palm on the ground, how can I explain this? Once you put a palm on the ground, you look at it, come back 6 months later, like, it grew a little bit. And you come back like a year later, 2 years later, holy shit, look at the size of that thing. And they just go, and then they root out everywhere, and whatever's in its way, a fence or concrete or whatever, they just tear them up and tear everything up and take on their own life, what they want to do. So I just ended up being a lot longer than I wanted to be, but hang in there and we'll keep coming back with some more stuff. But that's all I got for now, guys, and plus I'm all talked out. I'd appreciate it. And like I said, keep going out there. Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, X, you name it. And then we're out there everywhere. And see the videos and see the pictures we send out there. And you can like and subscribe. That's real important for the success of the channel. And like I said, I just opened up a chat room and Messenger too. So Facebook Messenger. So if you get a chance, well, like and subscribe. Jeff Vespa Garden Containers, and we'll just keep putting out everything like we have been. All right, guys, you have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.